What's up, people? Welcome back to Invest with T-Claus. My name is Tevi, and this channel is dedicated to my investment journey, along with coverage on crypto, Tesla, Neo, Virgin Galactic, and ChargePoint. Come for the information and stay for the perspective. So we have not talked about Tesla in almost 2 months. I tend to not focus as much on Tesla these days, given how much content there is already out there from significantly larger channels. That said, this week, it has finally happened. Delivery of the long-awaited Cybertruck have started, so you know I have to talk about it. And so in today's video, I'll take a brief look at the stock performance, then mostly focus on the details we know so far about the Cybertruck, and I'll leave you with some of my closing thoughts. Slightly different format today, less focus on the financials and more on the product side of things. I'd recommend watching all the way through, as there are some really cool features that you may not realize come with the Cybertruck that I'll be covering. And you do not want to miss out on that, okay? So drop the video a like if you haven't already and hit that subscribe button. Those are 2 easy ways to show your support to the channel and help it grow if you appreciate the content. All right, let's get into it. If you've been following Tesla for a while, you know that this almost never fails. As with every other big Tesla event, we saw a run up in the stock price before it came down and settled, right? So the Cybertruck delivery event took place on Thursday, November 30th, and the stock price was up by 7% heading into the event, before inevitably selling off. We closed the week still green with a 1.44% gain. Year to date, Tesla is up a solid 93.89%, but as a result, the overall consensus rating is currently a hold with an average price target of $246.93. We're essentially there, right? So the low end of the price range comes in at $85. Meanwhile, the top end of the range is $380. Now, given where we are at the macro level, the fact that Tesla will more than likely deliver on expectations for the year, I would not count on us round-tripping back to the $100 or less range. This isn't financial advice, but that $380 number is absolutely feasible as we get into next year and beyond. So again, not financial advice, but I would highly pay attention to that. Now, on to the Cybertruck. As many of you know, I placed my order on reveal night 4 years ago, okay? I'm still waiting to finalize my order, but it's finally time. So let's start with the various trims. There are 3 levels. The first one is the rear-wheel drive, which won't be available until 2025 and starts at $60,990. It comes with 250 miles of range and a 0-60 in 6.5 seconds. Next up is the all-wheel drive version, which starts at $79,990. The range comes in at 340 miles, 0-60 in 4.1 seconds. It has 600 horsepower, 7,435 foot-pound of torque, and a towing capacity of 11,000 pounds, which is pretty good. That's pretty impressive, actually. Now, last but certainly not least is the Cyber Beast, for basically $100,000 to start. Now, the range drops slightly to 320 miles, but for that trade-off, you get a 0-60 in a blistering 2.6 second and a quarter mile in 11 seconds. That makes it the fastest factory production truck of any kind in the world and faster to 60 than most sports cars, including the Porsche 911 Turbo S, which cost twice as much, by the way, and the Lamborghini Huracan, just to name a couple, right? So again, keep that in mind. This is insane. Torque gets a bump up to a ridiculous 10,296 foot-pound of torque, and towing capacity remains the same at 11,000 pound. And keep in mind that every trim model comes with a 2,500 payload in the bed. If you've been following closely, I can already tell what's going through your mind. And the first thing to note here compared to what we were told in 2019 is the price and range differences. Each trim is about $20,000 more than originally estimated. However, when you factor in inflation over the past 4 years, it does almost align. And if you look on the screen here for the specs that were originally promised, you can see that range is on par for the rear-wheel drive and dual motor trims. However, the tri-motor or Cyber Beast seemingly is falling short. That is, until you factor in the first innovation to talk about, which Tesla is rolling out with the Cybertruck, right? And that is the range extender. Now, in an effort to keep costs lower, Tesla built the dual and tri-motor versions of the Cybertruck, with a 123 kilowatt battery pack, which is good for the low to mid 300 mile range. It is important to note that the 4680 cell will be used in all Cybertrucks. The range extender adds another 130 miles in the dual motor version and 120 miles for the Cyber Beast. Now, this comes as an external battery pack, and you can see that on the screen here, installed into the truck bed. And really, only those who plan to use the truck for heavy duty, hauling, towing, and or truly feel the need for max range would opt for it. There are no details on pricing just yet, but I do like the fact that it is an option and wasn't just baked into the price of the truck. The next feature to highlight is the power front trunk, or frunk. This feature was added to account for the fact that the Cybertruck is a massive vehicle, right? And it's made of stainless steel all around. And so to alleviate the burden of manually opening, closing the heavy frunk, Tesla made the power frunk standard, which is cool. This is the first time they offer this feature on any of their production vehicles, and that's a nice touch. Next up is the rear wheel steering, meaning that the rear wheels will turn along with the front ones based on steering input. That in itself isn't a major innovation, but it is a nice feature to include in the Cybertruck design, right? And because of this feature, maneuvering at low speed through parking lots and through tight spots is much easier. The Cybertruck is jam-packed with a ton of innovations and cool features from a technical standpoint, but the one that stands out to me the most and is the world's first ever implementation in a production vehicle is the steer-by-wire system. There are literally no mechanical connectors between the steering wheel and the 4 physical wheels that are touching the ground, right? It's all connected through sensors, which is insane to me to think about. But let me play you this short clip on how it works.
The primary beneficiary of the 48-volt system is steer-by-wire. For the very first time ever on a production car, there is no physical connection between the steering wheel and the front wheels. All I have to do is turn the car on, and now I can steer. The front wheels are turned using a pair of redundant electric motors mounted directly to the steering rack. The rears are turned with a third motor. Completely by-wire steering is another thing that engineers have been dreaming about for decades. Lexus is working on it right now, but no one's had the balls to put it into production until now. The benefits are clear. At higher speeds, the steering slows way down and is normal. At lower speeds, well, it's just one turn, lock to lock. Half turn this way, half turn that way. It's wild. The computer interprets your request on where you want to go, and then it decides how much steering front and rear to get you there.
You cannot tell me that that is not cool. And I know that we've had throttle by wire for quite some time now in cars and motorcycles, but the steering by wire and putting it again in a production vehicle, that is amazing to me. Anyways, so I personally like it and I can't wait to try it. And so really the main takeaway for me here is that Tesla did truly approach the Cybertruck from a first principle perspective and reinvented the pickup truck from the ground up. The batteries, the windshield wipers, the automated tonneau cover, a completely new structural design, new material science, making it actually bulletproof as a byproduct. No element was left untouched. The result is a truck with more utility and performance than anything else on the road in the same category and price range. I'll link the full review for even more details, and it's well worth the 20-minute watch. Now, as far as my personal thoughts, the design and aesthetic of the Cybertruck are unconventional and absolutely polarizing. I'm a huge fan of it because it finally brings a truly futuristic vehicle into production in a way that has never been done before, period. And so seeing this first-gen Cybertruck and every feature that it incorporates, it actually makes sense why this took 4 years to bring into production. And as I said, I am a reservation holder and I cannot wait to finalize my order and take delivery sometime next year, hopefully, keep my fingers crossed. As an investor, the Cybertruck is the first new product Tesla has introduced in its lineup since the Model Y several years ago. It addresses a different segment of the market, and if successful, which I have no doubt that it will be, it should generate a significant amount of sales and revenue to keep momentum on growth for the coming years until the new mass market model, or Model 2, that's what we'll call it for now, is released with full autonomy. With that in mind, now is the time, as far as I'm concerned, to build my position back up before Cybertruck production fully ramps up and interest rates drop next year, making it that much easier for consumers to purchase not only the Cybertruck, but every other vehicle in the Tesla lineup. Realize and understand how well Tesla has navigated this bear market and managed to scale up their business since the pandemic. Now ask yourself, how much faster can they grow once the macro environment is more favorable and supportive of consumers borrowing at a lower rate? Okay. The last thing I will say is this: Bitcoin is knocking on the door of $40,000. That's right. If you haven't been paying attention, it is just about there and likely will push through in the very near future. Now, it's not just Bitcoin, it's the entire cryptoverse who's actually on the upswing. And it won't be long as we get into next year for a full market-wide bull market to take effect. And so really, the only question you should be asking yourself, I know that's what I ask myself, is, do I have enough Tesla stock, or insert any of your favorite stock or crypto for when that happens? But on that note, that is it for me today. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts on the Cybertruck are. Are you getting one? Are you not? And if you found value in my content, click that like button and share with others who you think could also benefit from it. For my newcomers, subscribe. It's free. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so that you too can stay in the know. I'll be back on Sunday for my weekly video. Till then, you can keep up with me here on Twitter for crypto and NFT related news. Thank you for watching. Stay humble, hustle hard, and I'll see you in the next one.